Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. So, Clash at the Castle is so close, I can almost taste it, and I'm absolutely pumped for this premium event. Mainly because I'm actually going to be there. I can't wait to see the show. I think it's going to be a big one. It's been literally 30 years since we've seen a premium event in the UK, and obviously I'm going to be cheering on the hometown hero in, of course, Drew McIntyre. And talking of the main event, we're going to go through in this video a number of scenarios, outcomes that could emerge from that main event, because I think it's going to be a big one and I think it's going to be a shocking one as well. But before we get into that, before we get into the juicy stuff, as always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. So let's first and foremost get the boring scenarios out of the way. The one scenario, the first scenario, I really hope doesn't happen, and I don't think it will happen, is Roman Reigns wins clean. That would be a shock, or even worse, he wins through a distraction from the Usos, because that same old, I think if that scenario did happen, something else could happen afterwards, and that's one of my other scenarios, so catch that in a moment. For me, that is not the way they would book things in Drew McIntyre's home nation. There would be boos ringing out across the arena. That would not go down well, and we know how much WWE respect the UK fan base, and that wouldn't be a way to respect them, would it? Really, to be honest with you. Now, the other scenario, of course, is Drew McIntyre wins, takes both the belts and becomes the new undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Now, if he comes down to the ring, should I say, to Broken Dreams, his old theme, when he was deemed the chosen one all those years ago, I would pretty much say, for close certainty, there'd be a very, very good chance that Drew McIntyre could actually win, be the one to dethrone Roman in his home nation, because that makes sense. Playing that theme, things coming full circle, that he was the chosen one and now he's the one to be the main man in WWE. And it is a genuine possibility, and just think of the reaction. Now, the only downside to that, of course, it could be more of a short-term win. He's obviously going to get an amazing reaction in his home nation, but remember, Roman is so over as that dominant force, as a heel monster within WWE. He's getting huge pops, by the way, and he's selling a lot of merchandise also. That whole bloodline is just massive, so it's a big call to take both the straps off Roman Reigns. So that leads us to the next possibility. WWE have made it no secret the USA Network want a bout. And in order to get a bout, WWE either have Roman Reigns show up more often on Raw, or they split the belts. Now, I think Theory is the secret weapon here, because he's got the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, Theory could come in, interject himself into that match, and declare his cash-in for the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, we know the obvious stipulation here, and I wouldn't be surprised if a WWE official runs down to the ring and makes this statement, that Theory can only pick one belt, either the WWE or the Universal title. Now, being on Raw, it would make sense for Theory to pick the WWE title. Not that it matters, because Roman's never really on either show, but predominantly you see Roman on SmackDown and you associate the Universal title, right? So Theory cashes in. It's a triple threat match. You've got Theory versus Reigns versus McIntyre. Now, Theory can eat the pin from McIntyre, protects Reigns, Reigns drops the belt, and you've now got the WWE title on Drew McIntyre. He can celebrate in front of his hometown. Everybody wins there, I think, to be honest with you. And even along the lines, you could have a Karrion Kross interception at some point as well with Roman Reigns. So you could set up Reigns and Kross, or you could even have some sort of interaction where Drew McIntyre is celebrating with the title and then Kross comes out and makes his intentions clear. And you've got McIntyre versus Kross in a rivalry. Now, Kross is on SmackDown at the moment, so that's where it throws a little bit of a spanner into the works. So you'd assume if he were going to have a rivalry, it'd be maybe with Reigns. He's made that clear that he's next, sort of thing, TikTok. Kross and Reigns could fight for the Universal title. McIntyre on Raw, the fact that they teased him over there, I think that was pretty much a clear sign that he could be winning the WWE title and bringing that to Raw, and there's going to be loads of interesting shenanigans. Now, of course, the other scenario we cannot ignore is Karrion Kross. Now, I don't think WWE are going to just put him into the match and then suddenly it's a triple threat. Because then, remember, there's still 2 belts on the line. And you're not going to put 2 belts on Cross. And although there's a possibility of putting 2 belts on McIntyre, what's the point involving Cross if ultimately it's McIntyre who Reigns wins anyway? So I think Cross will get involved at some point, but I don't think it's going to be a major interaction. I think it's going to be more of a state of intent, more towards the Roman Reigns part. And the final scenario, kind of a dream case scenario really, is yes, Reigns wins both the belts, undisputed champion, does his usual 20-minute long celebration, and then those lights go out. And who do we see emerge? None other than the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Or a new incarnation, but just Bray Wyatt. And imagine the stadium pop. Just imagine, after people being so angry that Roman Reigns is again retained against McIntyre in his home nation, that we see the Fiend emerge. And that would be fire. You don't need to chase the Fiend straight into the main event scene for the title. Just revenge on Roman. It could be revenge in the way that we actually see things come full circle. Remember when Roman Reigns came out and attacked the Fiend at SummerSlam 2020, took the belt from him after Payback, the following event. Although he wasn't pinned, Braun Strowman ate the pin, of course, there. What if things came full circle and actually the Fiend cost Roman Reigns his belt? That'd be amazing. So many scenarios, there's going to be loads of other ones, so that's where I want you to fill the slots. Get down in the comment section, share some scenarios that you think could emerge from this, but it's going to be so exciting, it's going to be big, it's going to be huge in the UK. I really believe that Triple H is going to want to deliver big time, because if you think about it, this is his first show with his creative control. SummerSlam was kind of already set up in terms of matchups, so this is a big statement from Triple H. Will he break the mold? Will he take the titles off Roman Reigns? Will he take a title off Roman Reigns? Or will he still keep him dominant? Remains to be seen. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you're new. See you very soon.